All right, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Under the Rim podcast. And let me just quickly formulate my thoughts before I go off and big man Gobert over here. Okay, this man, the GOAT defense player of the year, this man blocked the entire season. Okay, bro. So I woke up this morning and I saw that the Warriors and the Nets game tomorrow would be played with no fans, like trying to test it out, trying to see what it'd be like. And I was interested, I was like, at least the games are still going on. There's not gonna be any fans, but who cares? I still want to see how the season will play out. I want to see who wins the ring. Excited, everything. Then I see E3 got canceled. I'm seeing all these different things are happening. They declared it as a pandemic. They COVID-19 as a pandemic. All these different things. I was wondering how the NBA was gonna handle the season, and I was gonna come on and tell you guys today that I think they should just start the playoffs now. I think the playoffs should just begin now. Nothing. I don't think nothing would really change. I don't think there's a chance of a team pushing for the eighth seed, but I think right now we're good where it is. If you were to start the playoffs now, I think this is the best way to get ahead of it before we wait till like April, end of April, May, June, and then it could get worse possibly. So that was my solution in my head, but I didn't know what they were thinking. They were thinking just doing the no fans thing or just suspending the games. And now you see this clown, this fool. Okay, Gobert. Okay, it's probably not his fault, but the shit I am seeing on Twitter of this man doing, and mind me a second if I just need to go on Twitter or just read a couple tweets and things to you guys, because or if I take pauses, because I just need to make sure I'm not talking out my ass here. So there's a video on Monday. All right, this is Rudy Gobert was in the media room, and this guy just starts grabbing up all the microphones for no reason. What are you doing, dog? And then, but this is before he knew he was sick. And apparently, the Jazz just released a statement saying he was tested for strep throat. He was tested for all these other things. All of those came back negative, and then he just tested positive for coronavirus, and this is or COVID-19. And this is after this is before the game started playing. He was getting tested. He just played the Raptors, I think, 1 or 2 days ago, and man, as soon as that news broke, as soon as this man tested positive, as soon as that Woj tweeted that out, yeah, that's it. That was it. This is the end of the season indefinitely, unless they come up with some other solution. I don't know how. I don't. People are asking me, so how's the season gonna work now? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna like? How are we gonna play? And or how are they gonna play? And I can't answer you. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's like what I'm thinking is they're gonna postpone it until it gets under control. If it doesn't get worse in the future, until it gets better, hopefully. Like I'm thinking if they postpone it till say August, then you can't start the season back up in October. Like do you just want to wait and like reset the whole thing, like just wait a whole year without after the finals happen and say like September or whatever, and then just wait an entire year until October comes back around, September October comes back around, and then start the next season again. I don't know how the NBA plans to handle this. Woj said they're gonna use this hiatus to plan the next step forward, but the NBA is releasing statements. The OKC and the Jazz players are currently in lockdown right now in the arena. They're currently in quarantine. They're not allowed to leave. This man Gobert is a clown for like playing it as a joke. I just liked a couple of these statements just so I could read it to you guys. The NBA just released this statement. They suspended the season after Gobert tested positive. So they said the NBA has announced that a player on the Utah Jazz has preliminarily tested positive for COVID-19. The test result was reportedly shortly prior to the tip-off tonight of the Jazz and OKC game at the Cheapstake, I don't know, Energy Arena. At that time, tonight's game was canceled. The affected player was not in the arena, so they're saying Gobert wasn't in the arena, but he is in OKC. The NBA is suspending gameplay following the conclusion of tonight's schedule of games until further notice. The NBA will use this hiatus to determine the next steps for moving forward in the coronavirus pandemic. Let me try and find this Utah statement. I just saw the Utah Jazz release, because this is some clown shit. Okay, this is some clown shit. If you knew, this looks bad for the Jazz, bro. I'm trying to So they knew they knew both Emmanuel Mudiay and Gobert on their Twitter right now were questionable for tonight's game because they had an illness. quote unquote, and everyone was like, oh shit, like what was about to go down. Let me see if I can find the statement they just released. I'm trying to find it because it was I literally just seen it, and they came up with some random. Yeah, here we go. So, statement from the Utah Jazz. This morning, a player on the Utah Jazz tested negative for influenza, strep throat, and an upper respiratory infection. The individual symptoms diminished over the course of today. However, in a precautionary measure and in consultation with and cooperation with the NBA, medical staff, and Oklahoma health officials, the decision was made to test for COVID-19. Permanently positive test came back right before the tip off of the Utah Jazz Oklahoma City game. Decision was correctly made by the NBA to postpone the game. When it's determined that the individual will be tested, we informed the league office. The health and safety of our players, organization, those throughout our league, and all those potentially impacted by the situation are paramount in our discussions. We are working closely with the CDC, Oklahoma, and Utah state officials and the NBA to determine how to best move forward as we gather more information. The individual is currently in the care of health officials in Oklahoma City in coordination with the NBA and state officials. We will provide updates at the appropriate time. So you can see right now, Twitter is blowing the hell up. Twitter is blowing the hell up. I wanted to come here today and talk to you guys about LeBron like trying to catch Giannis in the MVP race, my thoughts, what's going on with the Raptors, all these different things I had planned to talk to you guys about. But all of that's just going to shit now because you got this fool. He was taking it. That video just pissed me off when he started grabbing the microphones. Like, bro, how are you gonna joke about shit like this? How are you gonna joke about shit like this? I'm just reading, and yeah, they're on a hiatus right now. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I think is the NHL suspending the league. The NHL, because I'm reading a statement from them too right now on Twitter. The National Hockey League is aware of NBA's decision tonight to indefinitely suspend its season. The NHL is continuing to consult with medical experts, so they're on the rope right now. Yeah, they were on the rope right now, so I don't know if they're gonna do it, but that's whatever. That's the NHL. And bro, when I'm telling you, I'm looking at pictures of the Jazz medical team wiping down the benches in the arena. They're just okay. There's just videos of Gobert just grabbing the microphones. Is this guy a fool? Like, what are you doing, bro? Because he apparently, I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know if he actually said this, but apparently he was making a joke. Wasn't taking it as seriously, so that's why he started grabbing up the microphones. Bro, you're playing. It's not even you. You're playing with people's livelihoods here, all right? Because there could be some of those press like people, the media, that don't have as good as immune system as you do, because they're not trained athletes, And I know if you're an athlete and work hard, I've heard some cases your immune system might be weakened, but a lot of these athletes have really good really good immune systems, and some of these, you grabbing up the microphone is just not gonna help. You could kill somebody for real. And then Rudy Gobert is questionable with an illness 2 days after making it a point to touch every mic and recorder in front of him. So this is coming from Eric Walden at TRIB Jazz, so Trib Jazz on Twitter, so you guys know where I'm getting my info from. And he tweeted, as a part of the Jazz's COVID-19 response, shooter on availability was done in the ZBBC media room today rather than on the court. As Rudy Gobert got finished discussing the situation, he stood up, leaned over, and made it a point to touch every mic and recorder in front of him. And literally the next 2 days later, Rudy Gobert is questionable with an illness. So is Emmanuel Mudiay. This man is a fool for doing that shit. I don't know if he probably knew he was sick, because these symptoms take about 3 to 4 days to develop, like with the regular flu. Then you can start seeing it. Like, you'll be sick, but you won't see anything yet, and then you have to wait a couple days, then you'll start getting the symptoms. Don't know if he knew he was sick. Don't know if he knew he had something. Not he knew he had the coronavirus, but he knew he had something. And now this man is sick. The NBA season is canceled. Don't know what's gonna happen. Don't know what the league is trying to do. I just had to get these news out to you guys to inform some of you guys who don't know what's happening. And while we're on the case, I just want to tell you guys about COVID-19 itself. So from what I've gathered, from what I've learned, why the NBA is or considered shutting down like banning fans from the arenas and stuff like that. It's not because the once you catch this disease you will die instantly type thing where your body's seizing uncontrolled. No, it's just they want to prevent the spread of the disease, prevent that. So if you were to get it yourself, and if you weren't really old or have a really compromised immune system, you will most likely survive. I read an article the other day about 53,000 people who have recovered from COVID-19. Okay, because if you go to the doctor and you get tested early and they can help you out early, then you will be fine. If you wash your hands and you practice all these safe routines, then you will be fine. This disease, you could get infected and you will live. Honestly, if you are not really old or don't have a really weak immune system, I was talking to my doctor the other day. He's like, notice how a lot of the kids, like younger kids, don't. There's not a lot of stories with them, and even the ones who do die, it's because the hospitals were too packed. They got it too late, or like they received attention too late. So it's not a reason to panic like individually, but the reason why everyone, all these sports teams, La Liga, like all these Italy like leagues and all this stuff are shutting down is because they want to prevent the spread, and some people can't like fathom that for some reason. They just don't want it to become bigger than it is, because then they are liable. You're spreading an entire disease. So I get what, and again I was going to talk about what LeBron was saying when he was like, I play for the fans, like this is nothing if like the fans aren't here. Get what he's saying, but he did make a statement the other day saying like health comes first, safety comes first, and this is why it's important. Yes, it does suck to play without fans in the arena, but you don't necessarily have a choice. Look how quickly a player can catch it. Rudy Gobert, you didn't even know he had it. He played the Raptors. He was around how many teammates, how many team members, the staff, press, kids he came in contact with, like for like slap, like high fiving them in the crowd, all these little things, places he's touched, places he's been. You don't know who he's been in contact with, and that's further spreading it. So just one person. Imagine a crowd of 25 to 30,000 people, and whose symptoms probably might not even developed yet, and it's hard because a lot of the media does fear mongering, and a lot of the media likes to hype up the disease and make it scarier than it is. But honestly, just practice washing your hands. Don't put your hands in your mouth after you come home from a day of work or after you touched all these things. Wash your hands a lot. Eat right. And I'm saying eat right. You're like, what does that have to do? Because you build up your immune system. Be healthier. Don't go grabbing up everything. Just be hygienic. There's a lot of things you can look online and have good hygiene and all this stuff, and you will be fine. You will be blessed. Okay. I'm telling you right now. But back to the NBA itself. What I think they're gonna do is they're gonna, like I said before, they're gonna move it to August. I've seen a lot of people think about they're gonna move it to August. They're gonna August end of the year, and then the playoffs are gonna start from there. The season will resume from there. But what's scary is when you do things like this. When you do things like this and move it, you get guys back like Steph Curry. You get Klay Thompson back. You get KD back. KD and Kyrie will be on the Nets if the season is moved far enough. The KD and Kyrie will be back on the Nets in time for playoffs. So that will be interesting to see if that does happen. That's like a whole alternate reality type thing. The Warriors will not be able to make the playoffs. I think they've been already eliminated from the playoffs. So even if Klay does come back and Steph does come back and they're all playing at full strength, they mathematically they cannot make it into the playoffs. So you don't have to worry about the Warriors for another year. But I don't know what's gonna go on. I don't know how they're gonna do the NBA draft. I don't know how the picks are gonna go. I don't know how anything's gonna go. Really, I'm not getting a lot of updates from Twitter. It's just really weird. So I'm just trying to read about it right now and just trying to inform you guys as much as possible. A lot of news is coming out by the second. So I'm seeing, like I told you guys, they're wiping on the seats and everything. So I just seeing all these memes about everyone dapping up Gobert and just looking at their hands. And now I just seen Lonzo want to go on the court and get some shots up after the game is postponed. Bro, people are just like, they want to play. These guys want to play, but it's hard out here. So the Lakers just tweeted out, the Lakers versus Houston Rockets game scheduled for Thursday will not be played. A refund for tickets will be available. Yeah, so everything's just going down. Evan Fournier provides an update on Rudy Gobert. Was just on the phone with Rudy Gobert. He's doing good, man. Let's not panic, everyone. Love you all. Boy, if you don't get your ass, it's not that we, bro. I don't want to seem heartless out here, but he's the one that caused this shit. Okay, and it's yeah, he got sick and it's not his fault. But bro, how are you gonna be teasing the microphones? How are you gonna, bro? Like everybody is cheesed at Gobert right now. And by cheese, I mean they're angry at this man. It's like I'm just seeing all these tweets, bro. Screw Rudy Gobert. And what was so sad is Vince Carter checked into the Hawks game with 19.5 seconds left. This might have been his final NBA game. This might have been Vince Carter's final game he's ever played. And that sucks. That sucks as a way to go out, I see Woj breaking down the protocol if the player tests positive. I don't know what he's going to have to say for that. Yeah, so I'm just out here just looking, just trying to see what's going on, bro. And it's been crazy today. Tom Hanks also tested positive from what I'm hearing. There's been a travel ban. There's been a lot of different things, and I wish I could provide more updates for you guys, but I just don't know what's gonna happen. Gobert's a clown. Gobert is a clown. That's what I'm saying right now. I'm sorry, but this man is a clown for this. Okay, and it looks like this is where it was heading anyways, because they could not contain the coronavirus. They couldn't. There's nothing much they could really do till a vaccine comes out, but that's probably 13 how many months away. It takes a long time to get a vaccine. They got to test it. They got to do all these different things. It takes a while. So who knows when it's going to get under control? Who knows what they're going to do with the NBA? They might have to, worst comes to worst, they'll still play, but each of these players have to get checked constantly. They have to be regulated. They have to be this, that. They have to do everything. And the NBA shutting down is a huge blow. It is a huge blow. So who knows what the hell is going to happen? Let me just try and find if I can find any more updates for you guys. I'm just scrolling down my feed. Yeah, bro. Like 2020 sucks garbage. Yeah, people were going off tonight, but it's pretty depressing. It's pretty sad. Yeah, the same tweets I'm just seeing over and over again. So there's nothing really I can provide you guys, like any new things. The Toronto Raptors are trying to, let me see what's going on here. The season cancels. Toronto, they're still the NBA champs. But like, holy shit, bro! He just played the Raptors, and it's crazy how you can have an illness like this, and you're feeling some sick, and the team is putting you into like quarantine, and they're testing you, and you still have the gall to like come out and do all this. So yeah, don't know what's gonna go on. Hopefully, the NBA figures out soon. If they do, I'll probably make a quick little video just to update you guys what's going on. Yeah, that's all I really gotta say for now. Like this is sad, bro. This is so sad. I was so excited for this year. I was really looking forward to the playoffs. I couldn't contain my excitement. I wanted to see that Clippers-Lakers matchup, but bro, and what saddens me is that LeBron isn't getting younger, and like, I'm a huge LeBron fan, and this is just adds another year on. Like, he's gonna be 36 next year, I'm pretty sure. So if this happens next year, he's gonna be a year older, and like this might be a good or bad thing. Who knows? But a lot of these players are gonna get to rehab. This might be a good break for them. Take some wear and tear off the legs. Help out the teams that people are just need recovery and all, like Ben Simmons, Karl Anthony Towns, etc., etc. So who knows? Like, trying to look on the bright side here. All these injured players, all the players that have a lot of miles on them right now, like AD, all these guys that get a little bit of a rest while the NBA can figure out what they're doing. So any new updates, I will try and let you guys know. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have anything you want me to talk about, just add me on Twitter, comment down below. Any new updates that I didn't mention, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode.